James Van Der Beek passed away at the age of 48 yesterday. The actor had been public about his battle with colorectal cancer. Joining us right now, Dr. Rohit Loomba from UC San Diego with more on that disease. Doctor, good morning and thanks for joining us.
Good morning.
A lot of people asking so many questions in terms of colorectal cancer, and he was only 48 years old. But you're seeing trends. We were just talking about this disease in adults under the age of 50. James Van Der Beek was 48 years old, falling right into that category. What is going on and why is that happening?
Yeah, we've been watching it at UC San Diego at the Morse Cancer Center and also in Division of Gastroenterology and Hepatology with several of our researchers looking into it, Dr. Samir Gupta and John Crothers, to name a few. Recent publication from CDC shows that the cancer that are increasing in people younger than 50 is only one cancer, that's colorectal cancer. And most other cancer, we made tremendous progress, like breast cancer, lung cancer. Those rates are decreasing, but the rates in people under 50 for colorectal cancer deaths are increasing in the United States.
The question now is why? Do we know?
Yeah, I think we don't know exactly the reason. Several hypotheses are being tested. Particularly important is the role of fast food, full of red meat, and then the interaction between genetics, environment, microbiome. And a lot of these studies are being carried out here in San Diego and also across the country in cancer centers.
You hear the last couple of days, obviously, colorectal cancer, and I was asking you, is there a specific difference when you call it colorectal cancer versus colon cancer? Is there a difference, or is that more or less the same thing? Can you explain that?
We, as we are thinking about generically, people call it colon cancer. Colorectal cancer encompasses the entire colon and the rectum. Rectum being the last part of the colon before, you reach the anus. And it's important because we see different trends in terms of race and ethnicity, in terms of rectal cancer rates. And really important in San Diego, particularly in Hispanics. Therefore, we are taking great strides in this area, particularly in screening and detection, pushing for national guidelines for early screening, and those have changed now, which is really important for public in San Diego.
I was going to ask you, because James Van Der Beek was very vocal about early screening and just how important that really is. How do we get that message across to people to go get checked out? What do they need to do?
Absolutely, really important. I think if you're in San Diego, you have multiple options. The current recommendation is at age 45.
45.
You should get screened. Earlier, it used to be age 50. Now, at age 45, for me, being a gastroenterologist, the #1 test, the gold standard would be a colonoscopy. And the reason for doing that is you can not only look for cancer, but you can also look for precancerous polyps.
Polyps, yeah.
30 to 40% of people in San Diego, when they come in for their screening colonoscopy, may have a polyp. You might as well get that removed, because those are the polyps that can turn into cancer in future. With the other tests that we have, such as stool test, FIT test.
Yeah, the stool test that you send in at a certain age, you start doing that, you send it in, it comes back all clear. Is that enough, or is there an age where that's not enough and you should go get this colonoscopy?
Those tests are good. Any screening is better than no screening, but if the stool test is positive, you still need a colonoscopy to get rid of, as a follow-up. So if you have a good gastroenterology practice and you can get a colonoscopy that is, good standard, I think that would be the best exam you can get.
So I think what I was trying to get at is, at what point do you just go get a colonoscopy versus the mail-in test, if you will? If those keep coming back negative year after year, are you good? Or is there an age where once you hit 50, 55, it's like, you know what, I need to go get the colonoscopy no matter what the mail-in test says?
No, the current recommendations are, if you're getting the mail-in test, typically you have to repeat them every year or every 3 years, depending on the test you get. Colonoscopy, if you get a colonoscopy at age 45 and it's clean, there's no polyp, you get a follow-up in 10 years.
Wow.
So I think it has a definite value for you. And also, 30 to 40% of people may have polyps, so you can remove those polyps, and so you'll be further reducing your future risk.
Did you mention this is more common in men or women?
More common in men.
In men. And the treatments?
There's tremendous progress in treatment. Of course, one of the first things we're thinking about is the stage of disease, and based upon that, we'll decide, removing the tumor in terms of a surgery. We're also making new strides at UC San Diego where we could try to remove these tumors endoscopically, particularly stage 1 or early cancer. And then You have cancer chemotherapy available to you, and other therapies are also available depending on the type of the cancer that you have.
All right, Dr. Lumba from UC San Diego, we thank you for all the work you're doing, by the way, and thank you for the time this morning.
Thank you. My pleasure.